Hello Blues fans and welcome back to BlueTube on YouTube, where we will be analysing the Blues game away at the VBS Stadium against Sutton United up in Sutton Coldfield yesterday. Actually it was in Sutton in London.
Yeah.
So if you went to Sutton in Birmingham, then unlucky. But yeah, we'll go through how the game went yesterday. Ben, what do you think?
Yeah, and just on the Sutton Coldfield thing.
Ben went to Sutton Coldfield.
You're right, yeah. I was watching another YouTube channel actually. It's BCFC Block 39. They're brilliant. Just vlog the games basically. And I was thinking, you're just Sutton Coldfield, Sutton Coldfield. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. It was great. But yeah, the game. I'll be honest, immediate reaction. I was actually like. And this is, we got through, which is the important thing. In the FA Cup, loads of people keep saying it's made for the upsets, isn't it? But I was quite disappointed, with how we couldn't really break down a Sutton United team, the London one.
Well, we're going to analyse what happened, aren't we? If we'd have done this immediately after the game, yeah, totally agree. But when you have a chance to think about it and
true.
think about how we set up and how it could have gone wrong, because it could have gone wrong when you look at some of the results that's gone on. Like Tamworth's, Wrexham's, going out. Tamworth going through against Huddersfield.
Yeah.
It was a sort of sleeping giant killing waiting to happen. So I think we can put some good positivity on the game, really. We're through.
Yeah, we won.
The main thing is we're through.
Yeah.
And we'll be facing Blackpool in the next game. Willemsen scored. I was thinking it was a nice little slotted goal, but as usual, ITV was trying to sort of discredit it and saying that it wasn't a fully, there was no real meaning behind it. And
there's no meaning behind it.
Yeah,
it's
know
dreadful.
What I mean? Yeah,
do it again.
Yeah,
It's pointless.
At the time, I was absolutely chuffed. I thought the way he just slipped it through and just wrong-footed.
He's getting a few now, isn't he?
He is.
And assisting.
But the work rate. Let's look. I'll tell you what. Let's go through the team that started because it surprised me. I was expecting the same team that beat Fulham under 21s last week to play, but he started with our what you would probably call our current starting 11.
Well, he had Willemsen on the right, and then he brought in Harris, didn't he, to play as the 10, and Anderson was on the left. Harris, steady. I mean, he had a thunderbolt against their keeper, Sims. Another day, that's a goal, but that's a little bit later on in the game. Pegg getting man of the match, not surprised there. I thought
Totally
he had a blinder.
agree with that.
I think we were solid overall, but there were certain aspects of the game that are out of our control. I mean, you'll love this now, that affected us. I mean, the refereeing. It was a good day for it, wasn't it?
I'm not listening. You want me to talk about the ref? I thought the ref wasn't great.
In that moment where
Maybe 11.
Ethan Laird went down and it was clear, you were thinking, because Jay, if you watch the play as it follows on, Jay actually scores. If the game had been allowed to flow,
I knew.
Yeah, he went on. It straight away turned, bang, goal.
I was feeling sorry for them. Well, they're the lower league.
Yeah,
and they'll have a chance. No, it was a penalty.
Yeah,
it was a penalty. Everyone that saw that yesterday, it was a penalty.
Yeah. Well, there was also throw-in decisions that he was getting wrong as well. Well, that was more the lino, to be fair. Yeah, it was clearly going out. It took a touch. They accidentally fumbled it out, almost as if they was about to pick up the ball. And the lino just gives it straight to Sutton. I mean, you can laugh at it now, but if they took one of their chances when they was through on goal...
This is what I was going to say. I mean, if you just saw that on paper, you'd say, Blues only beat them 1-0. We had 75, we'll get to the stats later, but 75% of the match, which is fairly normal for us, let's face it, but it was 75 good percent, possession that we had. And there were some bad decisions. To be fair, it could have been even worse because there was a couple of times where they were nowhere near penalties. But my God, how many times have you seen dodgy decisions get given against the Blues?
Yeah.
Therefore was going down in the box. I was just thinking he's going to give one of these.
Yeah, I mean, I was holding
no VAR to look after us. And towards the end of the game, when that one guy literally just fell over the long grass that they didn't bother cutting by the looks of it. That's another story. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I'm going off on one, aren't I?
No, it's good. Go
on. But yeah, where's the yellow card for bloody diving?
It was to their detriment, wasn't it, really? Because if they had stayed on their feet... you don't know what sort of chance would have fashioned out of that sort of situation, but it's nothing for us to worry about. It's over. We got through it now.
We're through. Yeah, let's go through like what suits us, because let's face it, they were just a team of blokes behind the ball.
Yeah, they put the whole team
They
behind
were
it,
forcing
didn't
us literally around that box. We were trying to sort of pass it deep sometimes to try and bring them forward, like you know our game is, to try and create that bit of an opening, which worked on occasion. But they were using their energy to literally get backs to the wall.
they? Can I be nitpicky? I feel like in the attacking
No.
third, well, I am, and you can't stop me. If I had to, and this is nitpicking now, but yeah, I feel like if we're playing the bigger teams, this is something that needs to be addressed, because eventually we'll face a team who can soak up all of this pressure, get us on the counter attack, nick a goal or two, and we've lost the game. I felt like the tempo needed to be lifted to another level once we got into the attacking third, and we were just taking our time a little bit too much. And we need that quick one-touch passing in and around the defence, because if you've got that many players behind the ball, you haven't got much space to work with. You've got to be quick. You've got to be nippy. One-touch passing, pass and move and go and get in behind them. And there just wasn't enough of that for me. I felt like we actually slowed down, if anything, once we got to that bit of the pitch. Oh, sorry for the break in play there, folks, but just a quick word from KRO Clothing. Now, if you haven't guessed from the name, KRO Clothing has a few garms in the way of our favourite football team, the Blues. And if you guys want 10% off of KRO Clothing at the moment, then please use the code BLUETUBE10. Please bear in mind this excludes all premium and non-Blues related items. Now back to the video.
That is exactly what I was going to come to in a bit. The fact that we didn't even get out of first gear yesterday.
No.
And it didn't look like we wanted to. It was just like a training exercise, and no disrespect to Sutton. If Blues wanted to turn it on, and like say, it was a case of we've got to go out and score 4 goals today, lads, otherwise we're out, we'd have done it honestly, because there was no real pressure from us. There was no real pressure on us, although there was a couple of breakaway occasions where there was the one guy that went through one-on-one and he should have absolutely buried it.
Yeah. And this is it, though. That's what we've got to be worried about.
Do you remember Allsop having to do much?
No, this is true, but they did have those few chances, didn't they?
They did, and in other games, and clearly what's happened over the weekend in the FA Cup, it's not gone well for other teams. But honestly, I don't think we raised a bit of a sweat, to be totally honest with you. And they were kibosh when they came off, weren't they? Almost a result for them, really, because I think they must have been... Yeah. The dream would always be to turn Blues over, because we've got all the limelight on us.
They've held their own, you mean?
Yeah,
they haven't
exactly.
been turned over. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way.
Well, no, I completely get what you mean, and I completely agree with you as well. I mean, we can't take anything away from Sutton. They put all their men behind the ball. Their game plan worked to a T.
Did.
And on another day, if there was just that little bit of an edge to them, if they were a little bit more clinical in front of goal, they could have come away with something real special.
The pitch.
Well, they wouldn't have come away with the pitch, no.
I noticed, we mentioned we were going to talk about this. I noticed straight away that they'd left the pitch long. And it took, not that long beyond that for the commentators to notice it as well. Did you notice every time we were trying to play that passing game, just seems to be sort of getting stuck in?
Apparently, I saw a few videos on Twitter. They were sprinkling only one side of the pitch at half time as well.
Oh, I didn't
see
that.
They were bringing out all of the little tricks. I don't know how true that is, but I saw a few tweets about it.
We can't complain. Blues have done it. Beat Fulham 3-1. It stopped them going up and helped us stay up.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Only a few years ago, and they were mentioning it
2018,
in the.
I think.
So, and their manager was in the press release afterwards, in the aftermatch chat to the press, and he was complaining about the pitch. And apparently, our boss at the time, was it Gary Monk?
I believe so, yeah.
Actually interrupted it and was talking about, what goes around comes around, because apparently they'd done the same to us in the past, and he was mentioning that, and it sort of quietened everything straight down. So
interesting.
Would have been
well
good to be a fly on the wall for that one. That's brilliant.
Should we go into the stats?
Yeah. Go on, you can read the stats out today.
Yeah, so as you can expect, possession, 75% to their 25. Now, the shots on goal, we had 13, they had 3. And we only had 3 on target. I don't know how much we want to read into that, because like we said before, they were backs to the wall. Every single man that they had was behind the ball. We couldn't really we couldn't really break them down, and I think you've got to credit them more than discredit us. But that's up for discussion, Blues fans. Should we have raised our tempo a little bit more?
Well,
Do we give Sutton the credit?
Here's a
Bit of both.
Here's a bit of hindsight for you. I honestly think the team that started against Fulham in the week, beat them 7-1, if they'd have started today, I think it would have been a completely different game of football and a totally different result. I honestly believe that.
Well, yeah. How did Fulham really attack the game? They didn't seem to sit back and soak up a load of pressure. They just treated this as like, right, this is a run out, a real chance to test ourselves against a team that's quite fairly high up in League One. Probably should be a championship team. Let's give them everything that we've got, and what comes of it. Treat it as a learning curve.
Alfie May on the bench.
Yeah, it's an interesting
I'd
one.
love to know what the thoughts are from the manager around that. I'm not going to disagree with what he's doing because the guy knows what he's doing. But I'd just like
You
to
think
know
Alfie
the
May
thinking.
should be starting, don't you?
For me, yeah, and if I was in, like in the pub now with Chris Davis having a glass of shandy, and he was able to say, yeah, it's because of this, blah blah, I'd be like, sound, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But we're never going to know, I suppose. He's never said it, anything on the interviews.
To answer your question about Williamson, I'd prefer him in that 10 position, really, to give him that freedom in the middle of the park to spread it from one side to the other, rather than isolating him to the right. I'm not saying that he is isolated on the right, but he's not necessarily a speedster who can run down the flank, cross the ball in. He likes to express himself with either side, the left or the right, when he's got the ball, and his passing ability is far too good just to keep him on the right. I think his short passing is better than his long passing. And I think if you're on the right, with the whole other side of the pitch
look at when he's in the middle, those where he cuts the defence in half, he plays those balls through to Stansfield. Yeah, and he's not really given the opportunity. He has to work harder on the right-hand side. You imagine them going through to Alfie May, you'd see his goal tally rise, wouldn't you, given the chance to play.
Well, he's already done it so many times.
Yeah.
Against the Rotherham, he's done it for Alfie, against Wigan. Yeah, there's been plenty of times that he's played that thread the needle-esque through ball for players. Yeah, I prefer him in the 10. Not to say that he's any worse on the right, necessarily. I think he's good wherever he is.
He got the goal.
He
got himself in a position to score.
We're still discovering the sort of player that he is and just how good he is, I think. His low centre of gravity is wicked for a guy who's that tall, though. I can't believe how good he is on the ball in general. But, yeah, it's just something that I think we're still going to have to suck it and see with him and see how he fares.
Yeah. I still get that little vibe that we still haven't seen the best out of probably most of our players
Most of the team, yeah.
I mean, Yokoyama
We'll get
scares
that
me
in
to
the
death when he
Championship.
comes on, just watching him from afar.
It'll be Championship where we really get that test, which is what I was speaking about the other week. I really want to see us, and I hope that we get someone in the FA Cup and we get a decent Premier League team.
Blackpool next, we've got to get through that one, which I think we should. That's away.
That'll be much more tougher than we realise.
That's going to be the end of November, early
December, yeah.
29th of November to the 3rd of December, I think those matches have
I
got
think
to be
you're
played
right,
by.
yeah. Somewhere around there.
So that'll be a day out for a lot of people up to Blackpool.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we can get a result and get into the next round. I think the Premier League teams start coming into it. Third round. Ooh.
Who would you like?
I'd like a lower... do you know what? You ask me who would like in the next round. We're assuming
That we're going to beat Blackpool.
that we're going to beat Blackpool there. And I don't think we can't. We just can't do that. We've got to make sure that we keep our feet firmly on the ground.
Old manager.
Yeah, and they're not doing too bad.
It'll be a big game, and it'll be I reckon it'll be on telly. I reckon it'll be another one on telly. So look forward to that. So we'll wait and see on that one. But no, I don't see our team at the moment. They're not the type of the way we play. We're not the type to sort of just give up in a match and just be back to the wall. We're a football forward, advancing, possession-based team that wants to have the ball. Look at when we played Fulham earlier in the season. Look at when we played Rangers when we hadn't even gelled. And I know Rangers were having trouble at the time, but we as a team take it to whoever we're playing. Chris Davis's philosophy is if you're playing that game of football, you're out there to win it. There's none of this shut the shop, let them come at us and we'll defend you. We are taking it to them. We want possession. And I tell you what, whoever we play, just got to go out and enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, our style of play is based off of the league that we're in as well, to a certain degree, and the way that we approach games, because we know that we are the favourite, and that's not us being arrogant. That's just the fact of the matter. We've got a stronger team, we've got better players. We are expected to go and get a result rather than having to sit back and hope that we nick one. So,
But-
with that being said, I'd be very interested in how our approach to games does change when we face a team that's got just a little bit more pedigree than our own, and what our game plan is for them.
I was going to say, but I think our mentality is to not give the other team the option. I think our mentality is it's our game, and you've got to overcome us. Otherwise, we're playing the football we want to play. No one plays football like we do at this level.
No.
And I think this is the championship team for next year now. This is like, we're here for a short stay. And I know it sounds like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Things over there somewhere.
Yeah, can you go and get it for me?
It's too far now.
Cocky is the best way to explain it.
Arrogant.
It's old age for you. Cocky and arrogant, yeah. It sounds cocky and arrogant, but I really think that it's going to get us a long way. Because you look at us in the past where it's just been like, the fans have been like, oh, let's just see what we can do in the next game in the past, and the team literally goes out the same. Long ball game, oh yeah, we might find somebody, we might get a chance. That's not us anymore. We're going to make chances, we're going to have most of the ball, and if they score, we're going to score more. And what a mentality. And it's like we said just now, it's about having that mindset back going forward. So I don't think we should fear anyone. Obviously be wary of people and give them respect that's due. But, and I thought maybe we gave them yesterday a bit too much respect.
Do you think so?
Well, or was it literally that we just didn't get started? Because I don't think there was a couple of players that were giving it a bit more. And I don't want that to sound like no one was trying, because we were all trying, but they didn't need to do any more than they did.
Well, they isolated Jay very well, I felt like, and Jay worked his socks off.
That's exactly what they've done. Men behind the ball stopped us from getting through, because everything was around their box, wasn't it? Most of the game was around their box.
I thought Laird had a great game.
Just disappointed we didn't, create better chances and take them. There was a couple that we should have done, but I'm not too disappointed. I think, as most people are saying now, we're through. That's the main thing. On to the next. We haven't lost.
Like
no
a few
injuries
League One
that
teams
I've heard of.
So
Everyone's fit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that wraps that up, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Said enough.
Right, we've waffled at you enough. We do hope that you've enjoyed this in what is our latest edition of a Blue Tube episode. It's going all right so far, isn't it? Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching. Please leave any recommendations or thoughts down in the comments, or moans. Might have said something that you disagree with. Let us know. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching as always. See you in the next one.